Hey, what's up guys? John here. Could we see the money printers turn back on?
To try to fight a global recession, central banks around the world have injected money into the economy at a record pace.
Interest rates go back to zero.
Remarkable emergency move by the Federal Reserve, bringing interest rates all the way down to zero.
Travel bans being enforced.
We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
And supply chains falling apart. Might sound far-fetched, but just a couple hours ago, 5 senators told Biden that he must prevent the spread of this illness by issuing a travel ban. A travel ban. You have to ask yourself, if there's a travel ban on international flights, would there also be a ban on shipping, on distribution, on these ships? And the reason for it is if you have travel banned up here, but down below you have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of workers working in and off these ships, working these ports, that could potentially be what they consider a threat. Could this put everything on hold? Maybe we start to see situations where people are running to Costco and Walmart and Target like they did a few years ago, buying all the toilet paper, the detergent, the paper towels, the beans, the rice, and the water.
Customers have been snapping up everything in sight. Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty.
Could we start to see the panic start to come back in? I'm not sure. But the fact that they came out 1 hour ago, 15 minutes ago, and they're all pushing for this, you look just, I'll hit news 2 hours ago. 5 senators asked Biden to impose the China travel ban, right? This is Reuters. 2 hours ago, The Hill, Republicans urge Biden to suspend China travel amid the uptick, right? 29 minutes ago, on Marco Rubio's website, it says, Rubio colleagues of Biden ban travel from China, prevent mystery illness, right? 57 minutes ago, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, you look at it, the writing's on the wall. We could be walking into a very, very, very big problem. But if they start to handle this situation like they handled it a couple of years ago, you could start to see some real big changes in this economy happening overnight. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on, what we know for now. And also on this channel, I talk about personal finance, real estate, business, and money. That's all I talk about. If you need medical advice, you can speak to your own advisor. You're not going to get any medical information or medical guidance custom to you here. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed physician. So speak to your own advisor. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. People share this content to educate the people about what's happening in America and the world. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, and a negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So when you're looking at how fast this thing's ramping up, it's very, very concerning. So a group of 5 senators have written to President Biden demanding he implement a travel ban on China due to an alarming spike in an unknown respiratory illness inside the communist nation. The letter, penned by these 5 senators, calls for Biden to immediately restrict travel between the U.S. and China until more information is gathered about the dangers posed by this. So you think about how radical that is, to ban that travel, right? Not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's radical. It's it's an extreme move. And we, before the last couple of years, would never hear of that ever, right? But now this is getting thrown out there like this is some type of solution. But how would this be a solution? Because even if the U.S. does ban it, what about other countries? People going, to the UK and then going here from other areas, or, it doesn't make any logical sense structurally. How would this actually prevent anything? There would have to be some bigger global effort in play, and that, unfortunately, looks like it's not far off, right? So we could see some type of huge play here that could happen, that could change the global economy, and I'm going to show you exactly how that's going to kind of. They've been talking about this for a couple of years, so I'm going to show you how this is likely going to work out. So this also came out a couple hours ago. What is white lung syndrome? The Ohio child pneumonia outbreak. So they go on to say the outbreak of the pediatric pneumonia cases in Ohio is causing concern among parents worried that the spread of this illness is linked to a surge in similar cases in China and other countries around the globe. Ohio is the first state in the U.S. to report an outbreak of the illness with an extremely high number of children being hospitalized. So 142 pediatric cases in Ohio, Warren County, since August, and the number of cases exceeding the country's definition for what they consider as an outbreak. However, officials do not think it is respiratory disease, but rather a large uptick in the number of pneumonia cases. So we will see. But look at this. So this came out 2 hours ago, not even an hour and a half ago. 1:21 p.m. Right now it's 2:51. So look at an hour and a half ago. 513,000 views in an hour and a half, right? So when you refresh at 513 all the way to, picked up another 30,000 views. So Massachusetts has become the second U.S. state to report a large uptick in the number of these child pneumonia cases. There's a mysterious viral outbreak. So when you look at all these comments, people are talking about, is this going to be 2.0? Is it? It could be. It honestly could be. At this, in this world, there's nothing stable. No one knows what's going to happen. But when you look at what they're saying here and what they've been saying the last couple of years, you can put two and two together that we're going to be walking into something that's going to be far crazier than we've experienced the last couple of years. We're not going back to 2018. We're not going back to 2019. This is the new normal. Get ready for uncertainty. But the thing is, how do people hold on during a tough time like this? Let's say, for example, everything does close down. Let's say, for example, these 5 senators, they tell Biden to, do what they've just said, and Biden moves forward with it. Maybe everything starts to close down again. How will people be able to make ends meet if the money printers goes back on, inflation gets worse, and we start to see interest rates go back to zero, and people are already to their teeth in debt? It's going to be a big, big problem because wages will likely continue to have a harder time to make ends meet. People are going to start defaulting left, right, and center. And especially you start to, you look at a situation where people are worried about their kids. They're going to prioritize everything around their children, their family. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be worrying about paying back the creditors, paying back student loans, paying back auto loans. You're going to start seeing defaults left, right, and center. And banks are going to be taking bigger and bigger losses because of this. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but I'm saying it's likely that we're going to start to see harder times ahead. That's what I'm saying. Look at what they're saying here. This is May 23rd, 2022. And they say, are we doing enough to prevent the future, right? The future ones. Now, when you scroll down here, it says, the latest G7 summit attracted support for the ambitious proposal of a new global pandemic radar. Almost a year on, now's the time to turn these warn words into concrete financial commitments and a fresh resolve to make it happen. Given into fatigue will only repeat a panic and neglect cycle for the last 20 years. The value of these investments will be contingent on political leaders pledging to follow the insights they generate, as the last 2 years have shown. Acting early and decisively in the face of any new or emerging disease saves lives, protects our healthcare systems, and avoids preventable damage to economies and livelihoods. Surveillance has more than proved its worth. But now, if you follow it, with the possibility of new epidemic and pandemic just around the corner, we cannot leave this to chance, right? Surveillance. Now, if they say, maybe a travel ban wouldn't do anything. It would have to be some type of surveillance, right? But fortunately, March 28th, 2022, he's already made a historic investment in this preparedness and biodefense in fiscal year 2023, right? So you start to look at what's happening here, things are probably going to get crazy, right? Things are probably going to get pretty crazy in the near future with how the world operates, how the world moves. Everything is going to start to go strictly digital. I mean, I'm talking digital everything. Look at this. 19 has extracted unfathomable toll on our nation and the world, causing millions of deaths and trillions of dollars in economic losses globally, and highlighting the interdependency between our nation's health security and that of the world. Throughout the pandemic, Americans and people around the world have personally experienced the health, social, and economic impacts caused by this. And 19 response has illuminated both longstanding and newly discovered limitations in our local, national, international health systems and health security capabilities. It also has resulted in an unparalleled multi-sectoral whole of society response, which has galvanized breakthroughs, innovations. Biden-Harris administration has made great progress in combating 19, building better health security to protect against future pandemics and other health emergencies. However, much more is needed to prevent future biological catastrophes. In America and around the world, people want to know, what can we do to stop future pandemics? We must increase and sustain our investments across U.S. governments to better prevent, detect, and respond to pandemics and to build a safe world and secure biological threats. when they start to talk about, countermeasures, pandemics, like it's all about the infrastructure. It's all about technology. It's all about surveillance. So you start to look at how this is going to, this is going to change, I believe, everything. I believe that's what we're walking into. I think we're going to walk into a change of everything that we once knew as normal. And I think people need to get prepared for it. That's what I think. I don't know if this is going to be the one. I really don't, because I'm just reading the headlines just like you are. I don't know. This could be. It could be. Maybe it's not. Maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's completely forgotten. But I would bet more than likely, if it's not this one, it's going to be the next one right around the corner. People need to get prepared for it. We're not going back to a situation where in 2020 and 2021, people thought, hey, we're going to go back to 2018, 2019. I'm going to borrow as much money as possible. I'm going to invest in real estate, and I'm going to do everything because, inflation is it's probably going to get out of control, and I'm just going to buy these hard real assets, and I'm going to build a tremendous net worth for myself. But now we're starting to see a lot of changes happening in the economy. A lot of people regretting their purchase in 2021 and 2020. They're regretting those decisions. Imagine if things start to get a lot worse and you have 40% of all mortgages in America taken out between 2020 and 2021. You're going to start seeing a lot more defaults. You're going to start seeing a lot more pain, a lot more panic selling. That's when you want to, put yourself in a position to invest. You want to buy when everyone is scared, when everyone's panicked. They say that money's made when there's blood in the streets. Could very well be one of these situations that could be that domino that tips everything over. Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. If you want to fix your credit to position yourself where I think is going to be the greatest investing opportunity in American history, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, and a negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Catch you in the next video.